Uh, just want to welcome you guys onto the podcast. I know it's April this year is coming up in what 2 years that we originally met at Anthony Chara's boot camp here in Chicago, which was
Yes.
really somewhere out in the suburbs. uh,
Oak Brook.
yeah, so I've been wanting to have you guys on the podcast for a while because we became friends on Facebook after we met, and I love what you guys are doing out in San Diego. I mean, just starting a new property management company, doing a bunch of deals. Now you're doing your own investing. But I guess to give people a little bit of a background, if you guys could tell me like who you are and what you do, and then we'll kind of get into how you got where you at now. I guess Billy.
So my name is Billy Colestock. We, Yesenia and I, together run a team of real estate agents here in San Diego, and we primarily focus on real estate sales.
Okay. Yesenia?
My name is Yesenia Nogales. I'm actually been in the real estate industry since 2004, right before the real estate crash. And I've been, for the first 10 years, I did a lot of just sales. And now I'm focusing more on investments, which is, flips and rentals, and hopefully move up to multiple family as well. But,
Okay.
yes.
So you have, so I guess is your main business the realty side, and then you do the investments and the property management kind of like as a separate business, or?
Yes, our main business is basically sales, represent buyers and sellers.
Mm-hmm.
Our second one that we've been focusing on, it is the flipping. Basically, we acquire properties and we remodel them and sell them. And just last year, actually October, we launched our property management business, which this year, 2018, is going to be a huge focus to grow that side of the business.
Okay.
Our first day accepting properties was in October.
Okay.
Last year, started in January.
So you guys been in real estate for a while. How did you get into it? Like, what did you do before, or like, how did you end up in real estate as a broker?
I was working for the U.S. Department of State, and I was in San Diego administering a program, and there was a lender whose office was right next door to mine. And every day he would just come to me and say, "Hey, when are you going to get into real estate? When are you going to get into real estate?" I would see his lifestyle and the money that he was making to create that lifestyle. The job that I had was one of the first desk jobs that I had ever had. So I really quickly wanted to get out and get into real estate. How attractive it was. I mean, mind you, it's San Diego, so the price points were pretty attractive as well.
Yeah, because I mean, you're on the side you're at 2.5%, right? But it's also the price point is like, what's the average home out in San Diego?
Well, right now it's about $625.
Yeah, that would be very attractive for anybody. What about you, Yesenia? Like, how did you end up in real estate?
If I was being an entrepreneur, I was in the restaurant business prior to real estate, so I owned a few restaurants. And one of the reasons I got into real estate is restaurant just was very demanding. I was 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And I had my daughter, and when she was 2, I came home one day and my daughter just kind of really not recognize me as her mom because I was spending so much time in the restaurant.
Wow.
So she cried for my mom before she cried for me, because my mom used to watch her. Thank God I had my mom here. But that just, made me realize that I wasn't spending enough time with her. And I decided to, get out of the restaurant business, sold the restaurants, and really go full time into real estate. I loved real estate a lot. So I always wanted to do that. And I guess that just that moment that I had with my daughter just, gave me the motivation to just jump into it, because I wanted something that will allow me to spend more time with her, and
Mm-hmm.
also gives me, it has the potential to grow. And just, there's no limits here in real estate. So I was attracted to that. Basically, the freedom that
Yeah.
I get.
A friend of mine in
freedom.
high school, his parents, yeah, sorry, just a quick, but a friend of mine in high school, his parents owned restaurants. I mean, that's where the parties were at his house because his parents were never home. So,
It's true.
yeah.
You're never
So,
home.
yeah, I mean, they work, yeah, like you said, 7 days a week. Literally, they would leave like 5, 6 a.m. and they wouldn't get home until like maybe midnight, probably later sometimes the next day. So it's a rough business. So
It
have you
is.
so did you guys when did you guys start working together?
We met actually in real estate.
Uh-huh.
Billy
Like
has a story
Yeah,
to say
tell us
that's what I was
about
gonna ask.
how we met.
Go ahead, Billy.
He wrote me an offer I couldn't refuse, guys.
I actually literally just presented an offer to him. He was the listing agent. I was the buyer agent. That was back in 2010. Actually, it's going to be 8 years. And
So she was the first and last person to ever present an offer to me. So in person. So I really kind of resisted having her come into the office to present that offer, but she was really convincing, made it happen. And when I rounded the corner and I saw her, I was like, well, this isn't going to be the worst experience of my life. And when I saw the offer, she had the highest offer on the property. I had 4 offers on that property. I didn't really know what else to say, so I started asking questions about the buyer. It came up that she was the buyer.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
And so this is 2010, the worst real estate market known to man so far. And here's a real estate agent who says she can afford a property. I found that kind of attractive.
Well, yeah. Do you still own that house?
no,
You
She
guys
didn't
sold?
close- She didn't close escrow.
She what?
She didn't close escrow.
Oh.
no.
I end up canceling that one after
Oh,
doing my
she couldn't
due
afford it.
diligence.
She lied. She was trying to trick you.
Yeah, she was trying to get you. That's why she went in person.
I kept her online. She was stalking me.
She lured you
I
in.
don't think Facebook existed back then.
And then after that, you guys, started working together and stuff, or?
So basically, yes, I was moving from one county to another county. I was moving from Riverside County to San Diego County at that time. And the brokerage that I was working for did not have an office in San Diego. So when I met Billy, he just asked the right question. He's like, well, he read the offer and he's like, well, you were Tarbell. Tarbell doesn't have any offices in San Diego. So what are you interviewing brokers? And I said, yes, as a matter of fact, I am interviewing brokers. And he's like, well, have you interviewed my broker? And I said, no, I have not. He's like, would you like to? I'm like, of course, I'm interviewing brokers. And he was actually, you were growing your team at that time, or you were just, yeah. And he's like, have you ever worked on a team? And I said, no, I don't even know what that means. I'm always been a solo agent, so didn't even know that there was a team concept. He's like, well, why don't you invite you to lunch? Let me explain. And if you like it, then you love for you to join my team. So I like what he has to say. And I joined his team at that time.
Yeah, teams are pretty big now. I mean, I guess when that was in 2010, 11.
Yes.
Yeah, but teams at properties does it a lot here in Chicago, which is a local brokerage. So if you could kind of go into that for people who are not familiar with what the team concept of of a broker is, Billy.
So basically, we believe in working together. We're going to achieve more. That's kind of the Keller Williams mantra of that. We're not with Keller at this point, but do definitely believe in that concept. Is that we're all going in the same direction. We're going to achieve more. Plus, also specialization. So, for instance, my personality may be a little bit more geared towards listings, where Yesenia has a little bit more of a human touch and does a little bit better with buyers. We have assistants, we have marketing people in place so that things that go on throughout the course of a listing or throughout the course of an escrow on the buy side are handled by the person who has the appropriate skill set.
Mm-hmm.
So that customer service is at the top level. My attention to detail is lacking, to say the least, and so I'm not going to be the person who's going to process the paper. That just wouldn't work. So when you're creating a team, if you're putting together the right people with the right spaces, it really works together.
Okay. So what do you think about now dealing with, working as a team, Yesenia? Like, did you like working as a team, or do you guys still do it, right?
Yes, yes, of course. We run a team ourselves. We do have 3 buyer agents. We have a full-time assistant, and we have a person who help us as well on the acquisition side.
Mhm.
Though all they do is focus on, buying basically properties for the investment
Mhm.
side of the business. I enjoy it, definitely. There are times, being a couple and being a husband and wife, sometimes, and being together 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's not easy sometimes,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
overall, I enjoy it.
Yeah. When Matt and I first got started, we actually lived together. So, we were roommates, and we pretty much saw each other 24/7. I mean, sometimes it's like, just get me the hell out of here.
Yeah.
You guys still live together?
Huh? No, no, not anymore.
We got in this building that we got under contract, and it's a long story, but we basically like house hacked, where we live on one floor and rent out the other two. And we basically were living there for free. So we're like, oh, this will help us like grow and scale our business. If we, kind of like the live-in office.
Yeah,
And I mean, it helped at the beginning for sure.
So you don't stop working.
pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like never.
I mean, it made sense at the time because I think at the time Matt was living in Chicago, and I was living outside of the city. And our other partner at the time was also living outside of the city. So in order for us to meet, it would take, Matt would have to take a train, and then I would have to pick him up, and it would take an hour just for us to meet. So we
Wow.
decided, why don't we just move in together, and when we wanted to talk, we just walk out of your bedroom or in the living room, and we just have meetings. And it made sense at the time when we were trying to we were first bringing up our business, because the faster the communication, the faster you can do things. And if there's a deal coming up, and we just go out, we just discuss it right away. There's no, I'm going to send you the address, can you take a look at it, let me know what you think. And then 3 hours later, he gets back to me, knowing, telling me what he thinks, and the deal might be gone right now at the way that this market is, right? So it
Yes.
makes it just made sense. And
It went,
that
it went from our first wholesale deal we ever did. I don't think we saw each other for like 6 months. It was just all through text. And then we went from that to meeting like once a week at a library, like on a weeknight. And then we went to seeing each other all day, every day, and just growing out our business plan and
Yeah.
executing and, starting a business from the ground up. And, that helped a lot for sure.
I'm sure your business saw a huge increase after you guys probably moving together, and the communication was faster, and it was so much more convenience.
Yeah, because as when
Sure.
we're starting in real estate, like, we can't afford an office, like, so we can go and work. So it just made sense.
Right.
But anyway, so I guess, since you guys are you both mostly on, you said, Billy, you're mostly on the sales side and buy side, or are you pretty much on both? Like, which one do you guys concentrate the most on?
Billy doesn't like to work with buyers.
No, you don't have the
No.
patience.
No.
You don't want to show them 15 houses.
No.
So that's more on your side,
That's more on my side. Yes, I enjoy that actually.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. I don't mind. I don't mind meeting people, showing them properties. It's just, I believe so much on owning real estate and people, owning their own home, that I just, enjoy that. When I finally find their dream home, it's just really nice to, see their faces, and just knowing that they're going to have a place where they can grow a family, where they're going to feel safe. I don't know. It's just so many things. Owning a home for me, it just means so many things. And that translates for me to, I feel like other people probably think the same thing. So I'm happy for them. And I enjoy it.
Yeah. Billy doesn't want to see them happy.
I guess he doesn't want to go through the.
I think that picking up a check creates great happiness, and when you
Yeah,
see
that makes him really happy.
picking up a check, that everybody's happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel it. I mean, I feel like I'm actually in the process of getting my license right now. I just passed the school test, which somehow they just voided in Illinois, and I don't know if they did it nationally or what. But before was that you had to pass the school test, right? You take the
Yeah.
class, pass the school test, then you got to go and take the state test. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm actually doing it in a couple weeks here. But I passed the school test maybe a few weeks ago, and I just got an email a couple days ago saying that it's not necessary anymore to pass the school test. You could just go straight to the state test right away. I'm
Oh.
like, oh well.
Good
No,
for
but
you.
yeah, no, but anyway, yeah, I feel like I would be, the same way, just marketing, just dealing with the listing.
It takes a lot of more time to help a buyer than to help a seller, because you're going to have to spend a lot of more of your time. So if you want to leverage your time and yourself, yes, I mean, maybe get a buyer agent, and that's what Billy does. He's really good at, selling home and listing homes, and I haven't seen anybody like as good as him on how to price the home so they can sell.
Yeah.
He's really good at that, and I mean, that's why he does that. I do the other side, and
He's
I
selling
think
that.
we have a very good balance in our team.
Yeah,
Well, that's what's cool about a team is that, everyone can play to their strengths. So one person doesn't have to be good at everything. And then that way you have a better business, altogether.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's why Matt and I work well together as well. Like, he's very good with the numbers, raising funds, and dealing with spreadsheets. I'm a little bit more, a little bit better at with the dealing with the projects and the contractors and picking out finishes, and more like the design aspect of things and the
Right.
marketing side aspect of things. So it's a good balance, and that's why we work together well. So I always tell people, like, when you want to get started, find somebody that complements your weaknesses. That way it makes sense in order, for you to be a team.
You're totally right. Yeah.
Now, I guess, since I'm getting my license, but for other people that want to get, and in real estate as a broker, what would your advice to them on the listing side, Billy? Like, say somebody that's brand new, what would you say to them that they should be doing when they first get started?
To take listings?
Yeah. Like somebody brand new coming in, they just got their license, they want to be a listing agent. What would your advice to them?
Good. Super okay with rejection. Just get absolutely in love with that.
I was going to say, if you're having trouble with those earbuds, you can just try unplugging them and see if it,
Yeah.
computer mic works.
Does it sound better now? Does it sound better now?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So I would just say get super comfortable with rejection, and you've got to go through the numbers. You got to learn your scripts. You've got to get in front of as many people every day. If you're going to do that through phone, or if you're going to do that door knocking, but you've got to go out and find people who are going to want to list their house. So you just got to go through the numbers.
Yeah, because I see you on Facebook all the time. You're posting Facebook live videos or video for your agents just on the phone, just calling for hours at a time. So you said to get in front of as many people as possible.
Absolutely.
Now, as far as marketing, what would you say for somebody to do? Obviously, besides getting leads from your brokerage.
Man, the thing is that I believe in prospecting first, marketing enhanced. We're grateful enough to be in a position where we've been in the industry now for 10, 11, 12 years. And we've got a clientele that we can market to, but if you're brand new out of the gate, you don't have any business right now to market to, aside from maybe an email to your past clients or a letter and a written note, you got to go out and you got to just prospect. Okay. I tell new agents, prospect 8 hours a day because you don't have anything else.
Right, you don't have any listings.
Got to put in the work to get the work.
Yeah, you got to fail. There's a book out there, I don't know the name of it, but it talks about we have to fail 10,000 times to be good at anything. So to be a good listing agent, you've got to fail at that conversation a lot of times before you understand what sellers want.
Right.
how to be able to manipulate, to carry that conversation and own that conversation as a listener.
Okay. What about on the sales side, Yesenia?
On the sales side, I think that it's very, very important that you have a buyer consultation. You know, invite them to your office. Ask as many questions as you can, because you need to find out exactly what they're looking for. What is the motivation? Why do they want to buy a home? What's the lifestyle? Like, get to know them. Get to know their search. It's the hardest part on the buying side is to find the home. Okay, and once you understand what they're looking for and you know your market, then you're going to be out and you're going to be able to find that preferred home for them, instead of having them take them to 20 homes. If you understand your search, you may be only taken to 3 homes. So you're going to scale down your time, and you're going to say, okay, well, out of the 20 homes that you saw and you pick this best 3, if you don't like any of these 3, you may not like the rest of them, because based on what you told me, these are the 3 that most that have all of your needs, wants, or whatever they put on their list.
So get to know them as much as possible before even showing them a house.
Yes, and make sure you also sign a buyer agent agreement, or it's very, very, I don't work with buyers who do not commit to myself. Like, if they're not committed to me, I just don't work with them. I'm not going to show them any properties. I'm not going to spend my time. So I sign a buyer broker agreement. As you sign a listing agreement or to sell a home, just also sign a buyer broker agreement. You know that you only want to work with people who are committed to you.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I think that's what we've noticed talking to other brokers in the podcast in the past. Like, get to know the buyers as much as you can. Somebody who's looking to buy, that way, get to know what kind of lifestyle they want. And sometimes they might not even know what they want, right?
Exactly. They may not even know. But with the right questions, you're going to help them understand.
Like, you got to figure out what's important to them.
Exactly.
Because they might not even know that, if, I don't know, playing golf is what they love to do. But, you might be able to show them a property that's, relatively close to a golf course instead of having to drive 45 minutes to one.
Right. Or they may be moving out from another state. They don't know your city. They don't know the neighborhood. So they don't even know where to start.
Right.
So finding out what's important to them. What's the lifestyle? What do they like to do?
Then you can bring Billy with that tan and sell the San Diego lifestyle. Like, see, this is what you're gonna look like if you move to San Diego. You just have.
I think you guys are just a little jealous of the tan right now.
Even during the winter, you can get a tan.
Right.
Here in San Diego.
Yeah. Right. How many degrees is it there right now?
Like 72.
I thought it was like the 20s in Florida. It's like San Diego never goes up or down.
No, not really. It stays like that.
Yeah, because I think last time you guys came in April, right? It was decent. I mean, last time we came to Chicago, it's like,
I don't know if you guys remember or not, but when we came, it was like 40, then it snowed, then it rained, and then it was 60. All in a period of 4 days.
And that weekend.
That's normal.
We experienced the 4 seasons in the same week in Chicago.
That's awesome.
It was so weird to us. Like, really? Is it now it's snowing and then raining and then sunny? It was just weird to see all of the different types of weather.
In one weekend, yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty much how it happens.
There's been days like in the morning I have to scrape the windshield, and then by the afternoon I got to turn the AC on because it's too hot, like in the same day.
Yeah. Are you guys still, not to shift a little bit, are you guys still kind of into, did you guys sign up for Anthony Chara's program? Or
we met with Anthony Chara. We actually had dinner with him, about 2 months ago? About a month ago, Billy? He was here in San Diego, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're still following him. We still love, his classes. We go to different classes. We haven't gotten the coaching class yet.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're basically raising capital through our flips and real estate so that we can go to the multifamily. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
that's
haven't really taken that.
Yeah, how did you make the transition from going from realtors to going and doing your own flips? And how long had you wanted to do that? And then what did it take to kind of make that transition? Just for, I know there's a lot of other realtors out there that want to do flips, but they have no idea
I've
where to
always,
start.
I have always been interested in investments more than in sales in real estate. I've actually lost money back in 2007 when the market crashed. So like everybody else, market crashed, and I bought some homes, but I didn't buy them at the right time, flipped them, market kept going down and down and down. So I have to, yeah, I lost at least 3 or 4 properties then. So I kind of stay away from it till 2010. I started again. I'm like, okay, well, I think that the market is coming back, so let's just try for the second time. And this time, thank God, it's been great. The market has been doing great, so we haven't lost any money on it. And so I've always been interested. I love investment in real estate. One of the reasons I've also wanted to be a real estate agent is so that I can learn how to find homes. Just get involved in that real estate community, real estate investment community. And I think
I think in 2010, one thing that we did, or 2010, 2011, one thing that we did was we started surrounding ourselves with guys who were like yourselves getting into renovations. And we found a niche in that if we could streamline their listing process, we would provide a lot of value. If we took off the listing component of the things that you would do, that was our niche. And so from 2010, 2011 till really 2016, we're still doing it now for some renovators, but we predominantly list those properties.
I mean, that saves most people a lot of time and a lot of money, the sales side.
And so our whole selling niche was, if we come in and we lower your days from acquisition to sale, then we're going to assist you guys by moving the capital faster. Also, if you're not dealing with different listing agents on different properties, you're going to be able to talk to one guy who's going to be able to tell you an update on Tuesday or whatever day you want it, on what's going on with each property specific. So you don't have to think about that headache after you've done the renovation. So we did that from 2010 to now. And in doing that, we got a real good idea of the process from acquisition to sale. So we really focused on educating ourselves on the investment aspect.
Yeah. And when you made the transition, I guess, from broker, not transition because you're still a broker, obviously, but how did you start working? Did you get advice from those people that you were helping flip houses, or sell houses? Or because it's a whole different business, right? I mean, when you're an investor, you deal with this, you deal with the acquisition, getting it closed, then you deal with the construction, and then there's like a whole other animal. Did you get a mentor to deal with the construction portion of the rehab, or
Just jump right in?
did you just jump right in?
Yeah.
Remember, I had already some experience. I lost some. But no, we pretty much were with helping other people find their home, understanding the numbers. We had a pretty good idea. We basically hire a general contractor to come and work for us, and he's doing a really good job for us. He basically goes to the properties and gives a whole scoop of work of how much would it cost before we actually really buy the home. So we understand the numbers before we even buy the property. But no, we could probably have asked someone for advice, but I think we felt very confident of our knowledge, and so far, so it has worked.
How did the hiring process go when hiring a GC? You just hired the first guy, or did you have to vet a bunch of people out?
No, we kind of knew this guy. He used to work for another investors. Those investors, I think, went out of business, and we knew him. And we did go through another one and like maybe 2 more, but we stayed with this one who is a pretty good guy. He's very honest, and he's good. So we like him.
You've
But
been using them since the beginning?
that's a big part of the business. Though, if people don't have a good relationship with the general contractor, it can be a big headache for someone who doesn't understand.
Billy's over there laughing, and you can see Ricardo over there like pissed.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're lucky in a way. We help another client of ours who just purchased a home. We actually have his property in escrow now, and he's losing some money. It's his first flip. He bought it himself. He did all his number. When we went and looked at the property and we gave him an advice, we knew that deal was pretty like tight. And I said, I don't know how you're gonna make the money, but I mean, you already bought it. You already $20,000 into the property, because he was gonna lose the deposit, and his contractor just he went to, I think, I don't know, 10 different contractors. So it was a headache for him.
It can be quite the nightmare. Yeah.
It can be. So if you're new, I always suggest someone, if you're new and you don't have the resources, don't do it by yourself. Partner with someone like, you guys yourself, you done it. You have the contacts, you have, you know, the ins and outs of the business, and might as well make less money, but know that you're not going to lose money. The risk is going to be a lot. The risk is always there, but it's going to be a lot less risky.
Yeah, trust me, he's not gonna make that mistake again.
Yeah, no, he's not.
If he doesn't get discouraged, because that's what happens to a lot of people, right? They want to get into investing so bad that this is something that we were talking about it last time, Matt and I, and we kept getting outbid on properties that we put offers on, and I'm like, these people are not gonna make any money. Like, my numbers don't work. Like, maybe they could do it for a little bit less, but they might break even. So it just made me realize that most people that want to do one or two flips or their first flip, they're willing to take a little bit more risk, but that's not the right way to do it.
Or they don't know how to analyze the numbers right.
It's not worth it. Yeah.
Or it's a cash buy.
They want to do it so bad that they just grab the first flip that comes to them, and then they end up losing a lot of money. And I'm like,
and I think that's what happened to this client of ours. He wanted it to do it so bad that he just got this house and put money. I mean, he has a full-time job too himself, so you can imagine, like, it didn't turn out well for him. And that's a really definitely expensive lesson, but I'm sure he's going to learn it, and he's just probably going to ask other people.
Yeah, it happens. It's happened to us. It happens to most people that we've talked to. So
I mean, it happened to me, believe me, too.
It's fine. He'll be okay if he sticks with it. I mean, it happens.
It happened to me back in I purchased homes back in 2006, 2007. I mean, no, 2000 after the crash. I think like 2008. I think, yeah. But the market kept going down and down after 2008.
Yeah.
So, 2012, that's when it started coming back here in Southern California. So,
How's talking about the market in Southern California? How is it over there? I mean, I'm not very familiar with it. I know last time when we first met, you were saying that there's a lot of cash buys. If you kind of go over what the market is like in San Diego.
Go ahead, Billy. You probably know this one very well.
So right now there's about 4,300 homes on the market in San Diego. When we met 2 years ago, just put that in perspective, there was about 8,700 homes. So there's less than half.
Wow.
So think about San Diego is a city of countywide of about 3.4 million people. There's only 4,300 homes around. In the last 90 days, we sold about 8,000 homes. So
wow.
The minute a home goes on the market, the home is getting sold if it's appropriately priced. We still have tremendous amount of cash buyers. We have people who are on a property that is for rehab. They're getting 10, 15 offers on them almost instantly. A lot of those are sight unseen. No contingency periods in many cases.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Folks are working on in San Diego 6% margins on the cash and cash return. So it's extremely competitive.
That's pretty low margin.
Yes.
We thought you guys' margins in Chicago were amazing.
I mean, we've had some that are like 30 to 35, but now it's a little bit more competitive. So a lot of our deals now are between 15. We'll go down to 15 if it's like a cosmetic rehab. But for something a little bit bigger, we'll do, we'll go up to 20. Like that's our threshold, around 20%.
We're hoping for 8.
Yeah.
No, here they're going between 6 to 8%, and that's good.
I mean, it's also the price range is a lot higher, right? Like, so say the flips are like a regular flip. Like, what? How many flips are you guys working on now?
We have right now on the renovation 1, 2, 3, at least 3, right, Billy? On the renovation.
Under renovation.
Yes.
And what are the numbers on those?
So one we purchased at 330. Our hope is to turn around and sell that at 500. One is 355. ARV on that 525. But we think we would get higher on that one. And then we have kind of like a slam, like a home run. We bought a multi-unit, and that's where a lot of opportunity is in the market here in San Diego. We bought a 2-on-1, and we bought that at 365, but we're going to target 650 when we're done.
And the renovations, are they pretty extensive on these, or is it a lot of just mostly cosmetic?
On the first two that I was mentioning, like more like cosmetic, we are doing a couple little additions. But on the last one I was telling you about, that one we're going to add. It's going to 2-bedroom, 2-bath. We're going to turn them into 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
Actually, the 3 that we have, the 3 are getting additions.
All 3 of them.
The way we adding a bedroom to each of those properties in a bathroom.
Okay,
all 3 of the ones that we're working on, we're doing second floor additions. So it's looks like similar, but it's a lot more construction.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a lot different here, right? I mean, you have insulation, you got a fur at the walls. I mean, it's a lot more. The construction. It's a lot different than what you have in San Diego, who's always 75 degrees.
Right? Yeah. I want to get some more cosmetic ones. That'd be nice.
We actually sell homes without air conditioning here.
That's insane.
You said without?
Yes.
Yeah. What about heat? You need heat too, or no?
Well, by law, you need heating, but people can go without heating if you wanted to as well.
What are the utility costs there? Do you have to pay anything for utility, like just water?
No, we do have to pay for gas, electricity as well, definitely.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like,
we have electricity here.
Matt doesn't.
Well, I just mean you're saving all the money on the AC.
Have lights and everything like
I'm
that.
just like, it's got to be almost nothing. Like,
I know it's not Chicago, but
well, he's thinking about like you need for furnace and a hot water heater, and
it's like gas bills here. They're like $300 a month, sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I hear it's in the 100s, maybe like 120. Depends. If they're not that expensive. 300 it's expensive. When you get a bill for 300, it's because you're using the air conditioning.
So kind of to go back to you guys' flips, are you guys funding these all through hard money, or are you guys doing JV? I think you were mentioning that you guys do JVs as well.
We are both, actually.
Both hard money and JV partnerships.
Yes.
If you could, I guess, kind of go into a little bit more on how you structure your deals, or like kind of just to give some people an idea of how they can structure the deals, right? Because a lot of the time when you first get started, you're like, fuck, I don't have any money. Like, I want to do flips, but I don't have any money. Like, I don't have 300 grand sitting in the bank.
Right.
So they don't think that they have opportunities to partner with people or to find these hard money lenders that, even though they're a little bit more expensive, you can get away with putting down 10, 15% and maybe 1 or 2 points, and they finance the entire thing. So I don't know if you could kind of go into how you structure your deals.
Go ahead, Billy.
Can I take that a little bit, but not necessarily to talk about how we structure the deal, but to kind of get over that mindset of like how to raise money. We sat down in the first day, we raised maybe about 200,000 just by making some phone calls. And that was really like eye-opening to me, because there was so many people who were interested in in helping renovating, the ask was extremely easy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys run into that as well, but it was just for us. Kind of had a little bit of a mental block on how am I going to get this money, and then it came out very easily.
Yeah, we kind of went through the same thing where, we needed money, and so we just started asking around, and there's a lot more people that are actually interested in investing than you would think. And as long as you kind of put the numbers together and present it in the correct way, then a lot of people are interested.
Matt, do you want to go into how we funded this last deal to just kind of give people sort of an example of sometimes what it takes to fund a deal?
Yeah, so actually this last one, we found a JV partner in California, and they agreed to, we just kind of presented the deal to them. And they agreed to fund 85% of all the funds for cash. And, we just had to come up with the other 15%. So then, we just pitched that to our private investors, and we got somebody to, they're giving us that 15% of the total funds needed for 15% interest. And then so we kind of just put those two together, and then we got 100% financing, and we pretty much fund all our deals that way with no cash out of pocket. Then, it's smaller margins for us, but we can do an unlimited amount of deals, as many as we can find that way, as long as there's people out there that are willing to invest.
Yeah, but how did you get to the guy that funded it, the 85%? I guess that's what kind of what I was getting to, because he called like 200 people or something like that.
Well, no, so it's for the 85%, I just posted and made a post on Bigger Pockets, and some guy just reached out to me in my inbox and went through the process with that, and they just do a lot of JV partnerships around the country. Now the other side for the other 15% I needed, which was about 70,000, we've been doing a lot of JV partnerships, so we weren't really going out to private lenders a lot. And so the first time, probably like 6 or 8 months, we had to raise private funds. We actually just started kind of like a little investor pool that we put together of just people that might be interested or have lent to us in the past. And just called, text, emailed, pretty much like nonstop for 4 days, almost 500 people. And we got it. The last 70,000, actually the day before closing was scheduled, which I don't know if we were going to be able to actually push closing or not. So kind of got like just in the nick of time. So it kind of worked out perfectly. And then there was a website where you kind of like have a list of private lenders, but a lot of people don't think if they're actually private lenders or not. Like a lot of them, like hard money lenders say they're private lenders, but they're not.
Yeah.
So with that, I got a list like that. I literally contacted like 281 people like on that list. And there was a lot of people that weren't interested or hard money lenders, but there's about 15 that were like solid, like real private lenders that we're going to have now going forward in the future that could possibly fund other deals.
Yeah, so long story short, like Billy was saying, you just got to put in the work. And a lot of the time it's really just calling as many people, in your network or reaching out to, people that might be interested in investing, right? You never know.
Right.
But you got to put in the work in order to get there.
Yeah, that same list a few years ago, my cousin actually told me that he went through it and that like nobody was on there. And then after this happened, I asked him and he said, "Oh, I only called about 10 people, but like only one guy was interested." I'm like, that's 10%. If the list is like 280 people, if you would have went through the whole list, there'd been another like 20 some people. Well, yeah, not everyone's like willing to go, all the way through and put in the work to, get the results.
Yeah.
So
I guess to kind of talk a little bit about your property management company. How did you guys start that? Like, is this something they've been wanting to do for a while? Did you used to manage your properties, and then now you're like, oh, we're gonna start managing other people's properties? How did that idea come about?
I think one of the ideas is we like to have a vertical business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're already doing real estate. We're coming across with a lot of people that has that need of real estate management. So we're giving those leads to other people. Why not, open up another side of the business and help them with this and provide them that service And because we are also, you know, we have our own properties, so instead of paying someone else to manage it, so why don't we just create another, you know, business that it's pretty, you know, goes hand to hand with our real estate business that we already have. And but I think one of the focus for us right now on the property management is we are focusing on in basically our clients are realtors, because we want to provide realtors um, the the service, the platform, so that they can actually refer us their clients as well. So what we do with the real estate management is in our brokerage we have over 700 agents. Those, out of those over 700 agents, a lot of them are looking for property management. Okay, what we are guaranteed to the realtor who's actually referring their client to us is that, one, they're going to get a referral fee, just a small referral fee. Two, and we have a written guarantee that when their client is ready to sell, that client is going to go back to them so that they can help them sell their property.
Okay.
And that's, you know, so we see a huge opportunity with our brokerage because they're not providing that service to the realtors. And there's over 700 realtors who's always asking, who knows a good property management company? Who knows a good property management company? And then why not? The opportunity is there.
That's really smart. Like
Yeah.
that.
What's your property management company called?
Go ahead, Billy.
What is it?
We lease.
Okay. So if anybody's if anybody in San Diego is looking for a property manager, how do they get a hold of you guys?
We lease sandiego.com.
Okay.
And you know, one thing about it is, Yesenia mentioned, we want to create the verticals, and so there's a lot of opportunity to just getting into this. We started taking properties in October last year, and it being beginning of January, we're sitting at 51 properties.
Nice.
3 months. That's awesome.
Yeah. And so we've been just really crushing it. We hired a property manager, a person whose sole job is to go out and get those properties.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a killer. She goes out and she's just crushing it.
So you guys go ahead, sorry.
It's a leverage. For us, it's so important to leverage the broker's platform already, because like I said, they have 700 plus real estate agents already who are referring business to somebody else. So if we put ourselves in front of them and we provide a good service and we give them back their clients, I think this is going to be a win-win for everyone.
No, definitely. And Matt and I always talk about, auxiliary business, right? That's the actual term. Because there's a lot of different things that you can do if you're in real estate. There's a lot of different avenues that you can go and monetize a lot of things. Like the reason why I decided to get my license was when we're doing marketing, we're looking for sellers. A lot of the time, their properties are too nice, right? A lot of the time, there's like, as an investor, as somebody who's going to fix and flip the home, a lot of the time the house is too nice for us to do anything with it. So before, we were turning away those leads and then just not doing anything with them.
Right.
Not auxiliary, it's ancillary.
Same thing. Yeah.
English is Ricardo's second language.
But you know what I mean? Like, it was not wrong of us, but I didn't see the opportunity then because we weren't taking advantage of our marketing 100%. Now once I obtain my license, and Matt said he's going to get it, but he's been saying he's going to get it for like 3 years now. We could actually take advantage of all those leads and monetize them as well instead of just turning them away. And it was funny because we would give these leads to other brokers or brokers that we knew. And they're like, I don't want free leads. I can get my own leads. I'm like, dude, we're giving you free leads.
What do you mean you're not getting leads?
Oh my God.
I want those leads. I'll get my license in Chicago.
We had this, I remember one time we emailed this guy and like, hey, like, these are, we've been doing some marketing and these properties are not gonna work for us. Do you want them? And he got offended. He's like, I could get my own damn leads. Like, why are you trying to
That's
give me? I'm like, dude, I don't have any
What-
use for them. I'm literally giving them to you. Like,
that's
here.
crazy. That's
I
the
don't know.
first thing I ask an investor who flipped homes, because I know that they do a lot of marketing. And I said,
Yeah.
well, what do you do with the people who doesn't fit your, criteria? Because many of those people are not going to sell to a cash investor. Like,
Yeah.
we can take care of those leads.
That we
And
literally don't
a
do
lot of,
anything with them.
huh?
I said we literally didn't do anything with them because
Really?
We're marketing really hard about 2 years ago for like 6 months, and we had like 2,000 extra leads that we couldn't do anything with.
God,
She got her license
a
then.
huge opportunity to list.
Even if you just got a 25%
Yeah.
trophy on those.
right. Yeah. I mean, now looking back, we should have taken advantage of those, but what is it?
Yeah, you
Retrospect
did
is
it, yeah.
2020 or something like that. Hindsight is 2020. But anyway, you actually do a show too on Facebook, right, Billy?
Yes.
What is it called?
A real estate shakeup with Colestock and Greer. So, Andrew
What do you
Greer,
guys talk about?
he's a developer here in San Diego, and we got together and just started doing a Facebook Live video every Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
The show's getting a lot of traction. We've been doing it for about 6 months now.
Nice.
We try to show up at either a renovation or a project or some kind of investment every week and interview the person who's running the project.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
That's really cool. I'm gonna start
So
watching
Just I'm still watching it.
it. No, honestly,
So I guess, do you know the person? Or is it just like a random, like a?
So it's a way to get more involved in the real estate investment community here in San Diego, build connections, leverage their projects. I mean, you can't. A lot of people call me and be like, "Hey, how much is that property over there?" I'm like, "I don't know. Call that guy because he's going to be selling it."
So you go and interview the developer,
We'll
or
interview
like the person in charge of the project.
like the flipper. Like, I mean, if we were in Chicago, we'd have you guys on doing a project. So we just my intent as the real estate agent and also as investors, not only to learn more, but to show that I have new inventory that's coming to the market before it's there, but also then getting involved with more investors. Andrew,
definitely.
who's doing it, his intent is to show that he's an expert in that field, so that investors start coming to him for JVs and projects.
Interesting. I know I've seen it a few times on Facebook, but I don't think I've stayed the entire time. I'm actually gonna go back and watch a couple episodes.
like
Hey man,
We're giving good content.
definitely. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out now. Now we're kind of getting close to the hour here. Matt, do you want to go into the questions?
yeah, we got some questions here. Let's see. Yeah, what's a piece of advice you received recently and that you still follow? And either of you are free to answer.
I think that for me, it's don't fall in love with the property. Look at your numbers, and if the numbers don't work, walk away and be okay walking away
I
for
think that's smart.
with that property.
If you got a chance to start over, what would you do differently?
If I had the chance to start over, what would I do differently? Well, I would think that I will buy more properties faster. Yes.
Especially in
I would-
2010, that's when everything's like on sale.
Yes. I would have probably, yes, put more properties in my, yes, and in my investment portfolio faster.
Okay, so kind of a little bit of a side question to that. As far as your broker career goes, what would you do differently? If you were starting over.
For me, I would have been more involved in creative ways of marketing to my database or my past clients sooner.
What do you mean by creative ways? To kind of expand on that.
With technology now, there's a lot of ways to get in front of your clients. Just even repurposing this. I think in the beginning of my career, I was so focused on just call, that I failed to see or value making contact with people personal through technology or even just by stopping by.
Got it. Yesenia?
Even though your technology right now is probably not so good, you can hear a big noise back there. But anyways, what I will do differently.
It's making some tea.
Is that why Matthew?
It sounds like a teapot.
It's like a tea kettle right there.
Anyway. Sorry.
Go ahead, Yesenia.
What I will do differently if I would start all over with my real estate career, I think I will get more comfortable picking up the phone and calling people faster. I really started that way, and I started completely the different way. I was not a cold caller. I've never called for the first 5 years of my career. All it was face-to-face relationship, I'll say. So now you kind of understand why I joined his team. I wanted to learn from him to how to prospect over the phone. And I think that definitely you got to have both. It's very important that you can meet people face to face. I love open houses, and I get a ton of leads by doing open houses. But if the 70% of your business comes from the follow-up, if I do the open house and I'm not following up, I'm not converting. So I will do that different. I will just get more comfortable with over the phone.
Matt?
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Definitely.
Yes.
Next question, Matt.
It's kind of similar, but what habits help make you successful?
What makes it successful?
What habits?
What habits? Showing up to the office every day, having a plan of action, having time block for you prospecting, just knowing knowing your goals, like understand how many people you need to call or how many people you need to talk to about real estate to get the transactions that you set up yourself, to close for certain years. So knowing exactly what you need to do, just do the activities.
Having a game plan and following it.
It's simple. It's not difficult. It's simple. It's just, I think people just have to show up to the office. Over like 80% of the realtors don't even come to the office to work.
Really?
Yeah, it's amazing how many people don't go to the office.
It's like Matt's like, really? Nobody shows up?
It's really
literally right now we have our own office. We don't go to the broker's office, but when we've been we were with Keller Williams, we were with other brokers, we were the first one to get to the office, the last ones to leave, and you'll see the same people over and over, and it was basically about 20% of all the realtors
they're producing 80% of the results.
Exactly.
That 20%.
Yes.
What about you? What about you, Billy? What habits help you make you successful, do you think?
You know what I would say? While I think you stole my answer typically of consistency, the next one would be building your skills. It's so important to know what you need to know. For us in the renovations, we've got a lot to learn, and that's a lot of what we're doing right now is talking to a lot of people. I heard the word coach earlier, but I also know in real estate and sales part, what has made us successful is making sure that we're focusing on knowing our scripts, knowing our dialogues, knowing what we need to say and do at certain points in the contract, knowing and improving our skills. Even if you move the needle from instead of converting 1 out of 10, converting 2 out of 10, just because of that little increase in your skills, that's a huge increase overall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Matt, next question.
What is the one thing that you find to be true that most people would disagree with?
To be true that most people would disagree with?
Yeah.
Showing up to the office?
Like, oh, I could be successful without showing up to the office. And you're like, nope.
Oh God, no! Go watch this one. You ready? That as a business owner, you have control over your own schedule.
You're right.
You don't have control over your schedule. Your schedule is 24 hours a day, and if you're
Okay.
not, then it's not gonna work.
Yesenia, did you want for that too, or?
So many people get into the industry and think, well, if I get into real estate, then I can control my own schedule. But really, that's the fail. Like, if you get into it and don't treat it as a job, you're not going to be successful.
Can you repeat that question again?
What's one thing that you find to be true that most people would disagree with?
That's a hard question, you know. I want more people to disagree. A lot of people think that you're just lucky,
Oh, yeah.
and I will disagree with that a lot. You know, a lot of people think that it's luxury life. Like being in real estate, people think, oh, you know, it's so nice and it's luxury, and because we do this, you know, Facebook Live, so because we post something that is, you know, looks nice, or we're traveling, but it's a lot of work. It's just, you know, people, the perception of real estate, I think, is different from what people believe. It's a lot of work.
What did it say? The harder the work, the luckier I get.
Yes, yes, yes.
Next question, Matt.
This one's a good one. Do you have a favorite failure? Is there one that set you up for future success?
Favorite failure that set me up for future success. Yes, I did. I do. I told you I lost money in on the real estate crash, and I had an investor, a family investor, and it was not just because of the market. It was the person that I partnered with as well, and I basically said, okay, fine, it's all yours. I know I'm going to be able to do it again and again because I know myself, and I want to prove him that it was me who did what we did and not him. And I think I proved him that. I think that this person is on the same position that he's at, and I am in a much better position now. And just that failure made me just say, I'm going to show everyone that I'm going to do it all over again. I don't care about the conditions of the market. It's going to happen. So, and I'm happy for it. I know that even if I lose it all again, I know we can all make it again.
Yeah.
Nice.
Billy?
I like that.
I'm racking my brain, but the only one I can think of is a pretty funny one. I lost a listing here in San Diego one time because I was chewing gum.
Chewing gum?
Really?
Yes.
What
How'd
happened?
that happen?
In the presentation, who chews gums on a presentation?
Oh.
When I was chewing gum, and I really thought I had the listing.
Unconsciously, he was doing it.
Against another top agent, and when everything was said and done, she listed with that other guy. And I called her and I asked her, I said, hey, for learning purposes, what did I do wrong that you went with this other guy? And she was like, just frankly speaking, you're a really nice guy. You're really knowledgeable. You seem like you could get my home sold, but you chewed gum throughout the presentation. And from that day forward, I've never chewed gum again.
Did she not like the sound of chewing?
No, you know what? The thing is that some people find that, and this is where the real lesson comes into. It's not necessarily about the chewing gum. It's being courteous and focusing in on the things that other people may identify in you that are not proper etiquette, rude, or maybe not against cultural norms. So being sensitive to those type of things is really important. And so from that day forward, I've never chewed gum again. But,
like at all? Ever?
Never.
You just do mints now? You just do mints now?
You
Yes.
just look at the gum, you're like, you cost me so much money, you piece of gum. I'm never gonna do this again.
I brush my teeth.
All right, Matt. Next question.
Do you guys have a morning routine? Or what is your morning routine?
Yes. Yes, we do actually.
Kids went up to school.
Just get the kids to school.
And then get to work.
It's not that we, do it 100% all the time. Obviously, if we can get if we can get up to 80%, like maybe 5 days out of the 7 days, I think it's a win already. For me, we do wake up early, like 5:36, 6 p.m. I mean 6 a.m. is probably the latest. Then for me, I like to go to the gym. I like to work out. We do have a room in our home that is just dedicated to exercise. So I'll do that. I like to meditate before that a little bit too, about at least 10 minutes. I go to my podcast, to the guided meditation podcast, and I meditate. I like to also visualize my goals and do some affirmations. And then after, do that workout and get ready. I like to be in the office by 8:30 a.m. So have breakfast and then go to the office 8:30 to 9. We should be there working already.
Nice.
Yesenia is really good at all those things. I try to skip exercise in the morning as often as possible. But what I do is I listen to Audible and really digest a lot of books. And every morning, I speak to my accountability partner to talk about what our goals are for the day and the top 3 or 4 things that we need to accomplish for that day to be successful.
Okay.
So that's it.
Actually, like that. Can you go a little bit more into that? Like, do you have a specific accountability partner, and how often how often you guys meet or are in contact?
We talk every day, he and I. He's a title rep here in San Diego, and so we're in the same industry but in different lines of the industry. And we talk. The conversation sometimes tends to go a little bit personal, but also at the same time, we talk about what we want to accomplish that day, who we need to talk to, what even like, hey, I have to have this conversation with this employee, or I have to have this conversation. What's your advice? So every day it's about 15 or 20 minutes of just getting started early on in the day about what's in store for us. And then not every day do we check in, but most days we check in the afternoon just to see that, hey, did you do it?
Nice.
I like that.
I mean, you mentioned a little bit that it goes into personal, but I feel like your goals have to be aligned with what you have going on in life, right? Like they have to be personal too, in order for you to even care that much about them and get them done as well, right?
Yes.
Matt, next question.
Yeah. So, last question: if you had one piece of advice to someone just starting out, what would it be?
Starting out as a real estate agent, investor, or just
Either
Either?
one, whatever. It's up to you.
if it, wow, if someone who's starting out, just I guess don't be afraid. Just go do it, and I guess surround yourself by other top producers, learn from them, shadow them, ask questions. There's a lot of people who are willing to help, but the problem is not a lot of people are willing to ask those questions or ask for that help. And if you know someone, who is successful, go sit down with them, talk to them, ask them, for their advice. What are they doing different from other people? And see if you get something out of it. I would have done that if I would have started all over again, because I was kind of know it all, and I obviously, learned their hard way that I don't. There's people out there who know a lot more than me, and there's people who are willing to share their knowledge. So I think that seek for help if you don't know where to go.
You gotta be humble, right?
Yes.
You gotta be okay with saying that, realizing that you don't know it all and that you're willing to seek some, advice from other people, right?
Exactly.
Billy, is your tea ready?
You do really.
Does the computer sound like it's gonna blow up?
There was this time there where there was like someone was like shooting, like there's like pew pew, like I don't know what you're doing over there, man.
So what would you advise? Yeah, what would you advise somebody starting out? I guess, like, kind of just to finish up the,
So for me, I think that it would be, so many people quit right before they're successful, and I would say, just keep on going through that hard time. It's not smooth. Everybody thinks that, like, if I did this year, I'm going to do this year, I'm going to do this year. It's the setbacks that make you better, and it's the time that you put into it. You got to get through it. It's like right now, you just got to get right through it.
Right, just gotta push right through. Awesome. We really appreciate you guys taking out the time. I know it's very short notice, and really appreciate you guys getting on and being on the podcast. We've been wanting to reach out to you guys and talk to you for a while now. I know Matt's actually even talked about, going down to California for the winters. So, he
come
might
check it out.
Hang out with you guys over there.
You guys, let us know. Please.
Oh, yeah.
He says he wants to have a tan in January as well. So
I'm gonna come down there and try some of Billy's tea.
This is from door knocking, guys. This is from door knocking.
From door knocking?
What they do to you?
Awesome. Really appreciate you guys. Till next time, everybody.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for having us. We really appreciate you guys. It was great conversation.
Thank you very much.